Have you ever thought, I want to stop drinking, but I just don't know how? I don't even know where to begin. Maybe you worry about losing friends, feeling isolated, or just not knowing anyone who doesn't drink. Because that was a big problem that I had. All three of these things were things that really kind of played on my mind when it was coming to a point where I had to stop drinking. But let me tell you something that you need to hear before you even begin. Your environment, and especially the people that you're surrounded by, will either make this journey a lot easier or a complete nightmare. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to start your alcohol-free journey and how to surround yourself with people that are going to inspire that journey rather than sabotage it. And don't worry, you're not going to have to ghost your friends or move to a monastery or anything like that. There's a way to do it that feels natural, enjoyable, even respectful. So who am I? I'm Dan Hunter. I stopped drinking in 2017. And since then, I have spent, I think, the last 8 years working out how to help other people get control of their drinking. Now, if you're a full-blown alcoholic and you're drinking in the morning and things like that, I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm not a doctor. You need medical intervention. But if you're a problem drinker like I was, where you're drinking way too much and you're not fully in control and you know that you might be on that path towards dependency, I can totally help you. So book a call below with me. We can have a half an hour chat. I'll talk you through my experience. You can tell me about yourself. And if there's a fit, maybe we can work together. If you don't want to work together, that's absolutely fine. There's no hard sell. I'll send you away with some tricks and tips and some actionable things that you can actually do to get a handle on your drinking. Anyway, enough with that. Let's get on with the video. So here's an interesting thing, and I want you to listen to what I'm saying. Your circle of friends is more powerful than your willpower. And here's a quote. You've probably heard this quote before. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I think that may be attributed to Dale Carnegie. I'm not 100% sure. And when it comes to quitting drinking, this is especially true. And at the start, when you're trying to quit, this is the kind of delicate time. It can either make you or it can totally derail you. So if everyone around you drinks and is joking about hangovers and talking about it, drinking being part of like their personality, and it becomes this huge personality trait that everybody kind of embodies, then of course it's going to be impossible to stop. I mean, that's kind of obvious, right? Now, here's the shift that you're going to make. You don't have to ditch your friends, but what you need to do is rebalance the influence they have on you and your life. So here's a couple of actionable things that you can do. You can invite these friends out for, say, a coffee or something that just doesn't revolve around alcohol, a game of tennis or paddle or the gym, a sauna, something like that. Whatever works for your friendship group, but something that doesn't involve alcohol. And you'll very quickly see where the bonds of that friendship are, whether it's actually a personal friendship or whether it's kind of a drinking buddy type friendship. And what I want you to do is I want you to start noticing, where do you feel pressured? Where do you feel helped? Where do you feel nurtured? Who's the devil on your shoulder and who's the angel on your shoulder? These are things that you need to take note of. And then you can just spend a bit more time with the people that want to help you, the people that have your best interests at heart. It doesn't mean you ditch the guy that wants to drink, but we're just rebalancing the influence. And you'll soon start seeing who's fine with this, who's not, who likes hanging out with you, who always hated drinking anyway, who loves going for a coffee, who wants to go for dinner, who wants to go to the gym with you. There's all of these things that maybe they're not enjoying drinking as well. And you'll suddenly find that you become much closer friends with people that you want to have more in common with in the future. So here's something that I like to call borrowing belief from people that are ahead of you. So what do I mean by that? When I personally stopped drinking, I felt very isolated. I felt very alone. I didn't know anybody that didn't drink, and it felt very lonely until I found role models and supportive friends. I started following people online that had quit drinking and were a couple of years down the line, and seeing how their lives were thriving, what kind of a train wreck their life was before. So seeing these people that are further down the line really changed my perspective and gave me kind of hope of seeing that this is possible. Because that's another thing as well. When you remove something like alcohol that's been a crutch in your life for so long, and there'll be reasons why you drink, and again, we can uncover those if we work together, but don't worry, it's not some therapy where we talk about people being mean to you when you were 7 or something. It's not that. It's good to see what is possible. So you can do things like following alcohol-free creators and things like that on YouTube or Instagram, and it doesn't all have to be some goody two-shoes that's just not drinking. It could just be people that provide content where there's no drinking involved. So it's about shaping the content that you're consuming, maybe. And this is only for the start. I'm not saying that you have to be like a monk for forever. It's just giving you some building blocks and a little bit of resilience at the start. You can also read and listen to things. One book that I really like is Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Alcohol. That's a pretty good book that I would recommend. There's loads of podcasts as well around not drinking. What I would say is be careful of the ones that like to indulge in things they've done in the past and what awful people they are and stuff like that. I find that will drag you down, and we want to come out of the swamp. We don't want to wallow around in it and think, oh, I did all these bad things. Forget that. Fresh start. Let's look forward. Also, something else you can do is notice real life examples, like maybe people you know that just don't drink. Like, is there a guy at the gym? Is there a guy at work or a girl at work that just doesn't drink? Look at their life. I mean, they exist perfectly happily without alcohol. And I know that you feel that you can't do that because that's why you continue to drink. And that's the trick that alcohol plays on you. I know because I've been there, but you can totally exist. Use them as a little bit of a role model. See how their life is. Do they have a diminished existence? No, you didn't always drink either, and you were fine. And with this person, you can just have a conversation with them. I'm not talking about turning them into a sponsor or airing your dirty laundry and telling people that you've got a problem with drinking. Comment below, I'll help you. Book a call with me, I'll talk to you about it. We can help each other. So with all of that said, you want to create a tribe of people around you that are there to help and support each other. And this is something I realized relatively quick in my journey, is having a support network around you of like-minded people. AA didn't work for me. I know people it has worked for, great, but I didn't really like their approach, and it felt very, very backwards thinking as opposed to forwards thinking. And this is why I set up the community that I've got, so that we can help each other like this. As I say, AA wasn't particularly effective for me, but maybe it will be for you. Maybe you have friends around you. Maybe you don't need the community that I've built, but we are very helpful towards one another. There's no pressure to do this, but you can have what we call an accountability partner, where you can pair off with somebody. We had two guys recently, both lived in New Jersey, and they ended up sort of buddying up, and they would go for coffees, and I think they even did a little bit of work together as well, a bit of business together. But they were very good at being a team. When one of them was feeling weak, the other one was able to come and help them, and vice versa, because it's not always easy. You're not always going to have the strength that you want. And outside of community, just in terms of the people that are in your life, tell a few people that, maybe your wife or your husband, or, well, obviously you'll probably speak to them anyway, but maybe somebody that you trust, a good friend, and just tell them, look, I'm going to cut back. I'm just going to stop drinking, and, you can help me out. So even just saying words like, yeah, I'm going alcohol free, I'm cutting alcohol out for a month, it has power. You've said it, it's out into the ether, and you're much more likely to kind of stick to it. And having said all of that, one of the biggest questions that I hear from people, and one of the biggest kind of fears, if you like, is what am I going to do with all this time? What do I do? Because when alcohol disappears, you have all of this clarity, this time, this energy to do things. So you're going to need to fill that time with something. And I highly recommend doing something productive, like going to the gym, or even setting micro goals, like maybe you want to run 3K, 5K, something like that. And you can get out and run, or you can do something that's out in nature. So anyway, choosing not to drink is not about missing out on something. It's about choosing a life without this kind of mental fog and this thief that's attached to you all the time. And it's about becoming the best version of you that you can become. We all want that, but alcohol is holding you back in so many ways. So if that sounds like something that you want to get involved in, you can book a call with me below. We'll go through what your situation is. There's no judgment. There's no looking back to the past. There's no telling you what a nasty person you've been. None of that. It'll be me you speak to, and I can tell you how I can help you, if I can help you. And even if we don't work together, that's fine. I'll send you off with some material that can help you out. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.